Hi guys, welcome back. I just want to show you another video here about upscaling textures. It's a nice little thing that I've only just sort of picked up on. Here's a Sketchfab model that I'm using in my game. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. But the way it comes with when you download it, it's not high resolution. It's fairly low resolution, as you can see from the close up. Once you get close up to an image, that's when you can tell it's the quality of the resolution or not is good or not. So basically what happens is, okay, so when you download it, you can see the dimensions, the resolution here. The maximum is 512 pixels by 512, which is really low. That's 256, 256, 128, and that's even 64. So it's really old textures that they give you. Same with that. That's just two copies of the same thing. So when you get it in the game, it doesn't look as good as you like up close, but you can upscale textures, which is good. So first thing you want to do is firstly import your model, and I'll just show you something. So when you load any FBX files, you'll notice, just for example, I'll just quickly get something to show up, that not only didn't load properly by the looks of it, but 8K, but also the actual separate colors didn't come through properly. So you've only got material 101. This is typical with FBX files. So what you want to do is always run it through Blender first. Import your FBX that way, and you can see you've got separate different colors. There's different textures for each one available that you can apply to it. At the moment, it's just got some vertex coloring on it. So just load it into Blender and then export it straight out again into. I usually find DAE is the best one. Just download it to downloads or something, and then go back to open it up in Cube, and then you'll find all of a sudden the missing textures all there. So it's 1 of 7, so now you've got 7 textures, and you've even got a bit of vertex coloring if you want to keep that as well. Basically, yeah, so that's the first thing you want to do. Okay, so I've got an example here I've already set up, and I've just got 2 copies. So I'll just hide the upscale one and switch it on. You can see the difference. So that's all the original textures, or the low quality original textures. So we've got 512. That's all those ones, and these ones have the see, whole 2, 1K, 1K, basically 1K. That's 512 there. It's more than the original. Same with that. Yeah, so if I just switch on, so that's the original, and I'll just switch on the upscaled one. You can see the difference. There it is there. It's way better, isn't it? So that, off, on. So it's quite nice. This, what is it? I suppose it's a bit of a greeny colour. It doesn't show up as much, but you still can see a difference. So that's, you see the blurriness, and then it goes away mostly. There's heaps of websites I've found. You can top 10 AI. There's loads of upscaling. It's not just upscaling. Is not just resizing it upwards. That does not work. It does not add any new quality to the texture. It just makes it bigger. So it doesn't really do anything. But when you're using upscaling, a proper upscaler uses special artificial intelligence type calculations to it actually adds back textural information to the texture as it increases it. It usually comes out about the same. Sometimes it does change it slightly. Depends on which one you use. The one I like to use is bigjpg.com. That works pretty good. You just grab a texture, something like that. There's 512, and just drop it in there. I just like to go full scale to start with, get the maximum. I can always reduce it later. And noise reduction, probably medium. Noise reduction, it just sort of cleans it up a little bit. If it's depending how you want the texture to look, whether we want it totally original or you want it to be remove some of the poor looking artifacts in it. So I've already done this, saved them all under a different section. So I've done that here already. So I've got all those same textures, and I've just upscaled it anywhere from 1 to 2K. Usually 1K is pretty sufficient. With this spaceship, you got lots of different textures for that one outer hull. So in other words, 1K is going to be fine for that. If it was one big texture for the whole thing, you'd probably want 2K. Yeah, but yeah. So I've got all those there. The windows are the same, no change there. So that looks quite good, the windows already. Now that's the so that's the old one, and when you add the new one, it gives a lot more resolution. And it's heaps better that way. Here's a nice trick I've found with pretty much all textures actually that have a bit of a low resolution. You can increase it just naturally, increase the look of it a little bit. For example, this is the JPEG from directly from the AI website. Open it with GIMP or other Photoshop edit program, whatever you got. It's not bad, but what you can do before you reduce this image size, if this was 2K, you want to go to 1K. Here's a nice little trick. It seems to work consistently well. Just go enhance, sharpen, unsharp mask. It just sharpens it up a bit, and then when you reduce it, the image scale to 1024, and use that, it actually increases the definition. It doesn't. It reduces the effect of reducing the resolution. It actually looks almost as good as the one level up that you had to start with. Not quite exactly, but not too far off. So it's a nice little trick. Yeah, so there you can see the difference anyway. So it's quite a difference actually, especially when you're close up. So that's what you can get from upscaling. You can even get better than that if you want to go to 2K textures on everything, or even more. But yeah, 1K is usually pretty good for a lot of things. In some cases 2K. Alrighty, hope you like that. Cheers.